Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream today. Ron Nicoletti, along with Brian the Vagabond Nato, who's been traveling all around town, but he is back. Glad he's joining us this afternoon once again. And Brian, the big news while you were away on Sunday, they didn't hit the late pick 5.
$94,000. That's going to start in race 5 today on the 9-race card, 94 and change in that late pick 5 carryover. I'm not going to speculate, Ronnie, but I would think, typically we like to think 5-6 times what the carryover is. So do the math. It's going to be a big number.
No, it usually is like 500, 600,000. But, also get the late pick, the Rainbow Six, well, with $175,000 in that pool kicks off in race number 4. So there's chances to make some big money. They only had 5 of 6 in the Rainbow Six the other day. So it's been interesting to say the least about what's going on as far as those multiple wagers go. We got a fast main track this afternoon. We got the all-weather Tapeta, of course, and we got lots of action throughout the afternoon on Twilight Friday. And Brian put together an early pick 5 ticket.
Yeah, both sequences are pretty tough today. Both of my tickets are $48. We'll get to this race in the opener here in a second. Pretty Princess down inside in race 2 is my long shot play of the day at 15-1. I'm 4 deep in race 3, another 2-year-old race. That's a tough one at the Crossroads. A Cassie Firster on top for me. Here's the single. Baker Block will be a pretty stiff favorite in race 4 for Safi. And then I go 2 deep in race 5. Top pick is Brimage, who should be a bit of a price, and certainly Pearl in the Rough is going to be very, very tough in there.
Yeah, $48. I found these both early and late pick 5s. Very, very tough sequence. Of course, Brian will have his late pick 5 ticket together for when we have that nice carryover of $94,000 plus in that pool. So getting to the first, it's about 5.5 furlongs on the Tapeta maiden special weight filly 2-year-olds. Nice field of 9 kicking it off, and both you and I have some interest in the outside horse in here, and that's Grand Birdie, who's a $110,000 daughter of Malibu Moon, debuting for Victor Barboza Jr.
Yeah, not a lot of pedigree here. Very early in the betting, but co-favored right now. I think this is a horse that's supposed to take money. Victor Barboza Jr., 26%. With Firsters, Miguel Vasquez, our leading rider, lands here. They're 25% together. Not a lot of pedigree, as I mentioned. The dam was 0 for 9. This is her first foal. There's plenty of works here on display, Ronnie. They paid $110,000 for this daughter of Malibu Moon. A lot of reasons to think she can run.
I went with the angle we've been talking around for the last couple of weeks as far as 2-year-olds, and that's with the number 2, Olga, who's the most experienced runner in the field. Is expected, you would think, to show more after tracking the pace and finishing 4th at this level and distance on the Tapeta. And you just think the 4th time can be the charm. They've got a lot of races in this horse. I just go, maybe not to win, but to be somewhere on the ticket. So taking some money, 12-1, right now 7-1 on the board.
Yeah, an Arundel homebred that's seemingly getting better and better with each start moving forward. Juan Alvarado has quietly won a few of these races and had a pretty good Royal Palm meet. And I agree with you, Ron. We've talked about it time and time again. The experience edge in these 2-year-old races has proven to be very fruitful so far.
And, you can't go wrong with having the number 5, who you do in second. It's currently co-favorite up there, and that's R. Rose All Day, because it's Rohan Crichton.
Well, I talked about this a couple of weeks ago where Rohan debuted a 2-year-old. We really weren't sure what to make of him because that's not really his thing. And now, if you notice, he's got one tomorrow as well. He's starting to get 2-year-olds. The horse I was alluding to a few weeks ago, one, we'll see the money, like you said, is showing right now. And it's kind of an unknown for the barn. He seems to work them very, very quickly, and they've run that way too.
Well, the trainer Mark Cassie's got 2 in here. He's got the 4 strokes, the Irish bred, and number 3, Acting. So we'll see a stat I found for both these horses with 2-year-old first-time starters. Maiden special weight on the Tapeta. He's 21 for 119, 18%, 50% in the money. 150 is the return of investment. So you knew he was going to have some good numbers in there with these first-time starters. And if you don't like one, you got the other.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And he's had such a lot of success here at Gulfstream as well with his 2-year-olds last summer and even into this summer as well. We got a quick replay for Morgan's Bluff.
The
Safi horse who was, bet down to evens on debut. This is the old there off you lose angle, and you're going to see it here, right here. Whoa, we're going to go all the way to the right and just broke slow. They're off, you lose, race over. Now, I wanted to show that because I do think it's significant, and here she is here kind of out the back. But just a couple things. She also didn't do any running at all. So, you know, I'm willing to be a little forgiving, and she's the last one I lopped off of my early pick 5. The money's not really showing right now. Again, very early in the betting. Just take note of it. She certainly didn't have a fair chance on debut. They did bet her down to even money for E5 and Safi, and now Edgard Zayas is going to get aboard. But she didn't do any running either. So just you know, food for thought on that one.
Now we'll go to race number 2. As I said, about 5.5 furlongs on the Peter Claimus fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, $10,000. We're going to have 7 in the field. You went with the inside horse, Pretty Princess, and I think you got a video you wanted to show.
Yeah, this is my long shot play of the day, and this is her race 3 back when she won here on the Tapeta out the back. She's a number 2 horse. Thank you, Bob. And I thought this was a pretty good effort, Ron. She went last to first, and the finishing order was from the pace flow was 8-4-1. So it's not like this race fell apart. She went last to first. I thought it was a really, really big effort. Okay, she was in way over her head the next time on the Tapeta. She ran on the dirt last time. You can easily forgive both of those efforts. If you go back to this race here that we're showing where she's looping down the center here, okay, there's Wild Tappet loose, by the way, at 6-5. If you just judge off this race, where she's back with her friends today for 10K, why can't she play with this group at a big, big number in here? She should be at least 10-1 in here.
Yeah, that's a good video. It's 15-1. She's on. That's what she is on the board. Marcos Meneses will be in the saddle. I went with the 4 in here, American Tap, who's hoping to break trouble-free today after shaking off tight quarters at the start. Duel throughout, finished second to Current Nemesis, who's also in this race, and that's the number 3 horse, Drinks on Me. So I just thought this one, Drinks on Me, certainly has American Tap's number. I just flip-flopped them in my exacta.
Yeah, they're major players. It's tough to play this early pick 5 or the start of the early pick 4 without either of them because their overall form has been so good.
Yeah, in the 7 you have in Second Vale, beaten a half length by Drinks on Me on the Tapeta 2 starts ago, returns to that surface. Ran okay, it's Jorge Delgado and Chantal.
Yeah, absolutely. They're over 20% together. Let's forgive the dirt race. You focus back on the Tapeta race, like you said, puts her right there with this group.
I'm liking your long shot after showing that video. That's pretty good to close like that after, you know, breaking last in the field. So 3rd race this afternoon, 6 furlongs, maiden special weight state-bred filly 2-year-olds. Scratch the horse I had on top was actually my best bet today, and that is the 7, A Kiss for Kozan. So I bumped up the number 5 horse in here, Luna Tuna, who's stretching out to 3/4 of a mile today. After showing progress when she finished a duel for the lead, going 5.5 furlongs last time out, Kathy Ridfo, David Lopez handling. This is a daughter of Mucho Macho Man's 3rd career start, and you know, I had this one, be honest, as an exacta play because I really like the Kiss for Kozan. So I just bumped this one up, and I think this one has license to run better today.
Yeah, coming out of good open races, too. Now she dips in with the Florida bred, so that is a class drop. They were good races. She ran fine in both starts. She showed speed. Tired a little bit late. I think this drop in class helps, and as we've talked, again, another experienced 2-year-old here. If the firsters aren't ready, Luna Tuna, major threat.
And, you know, the number 6 horse in here at the Crossroads, a half-sister to stakes winner Midnight Stroll you had on top of your ticket.
Yeah, Midnight Stroll is a grade 3 Delaware Oaks winner, so maybe we want 2 turns, maybe we want a little longer, but it's Cassie, it's Edwin Gonzalez, his main man here. They paid $230,000 for a daughter of Practical Joke. They've been very precocious as a young sire, so I think at the Crossroads has a recipe to run very well here.
And what about that number 9 horse on the outside, Kiki Love? This one for, once again, Rohan Crichton.
And once again, another 2-year-old debuting with very sharp works. They match up with the runner in race 1, and that is our Roses All Day. So take note of how she runs, and then maybe that elevates Kiki Love in race 3.
Well, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back for race number 4, I will have my Rainbow 6 ticket, and that plane, I think, is landing right behind us. So we'll be right back.
We're ready for the start. They're off.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today, Ron and Brian. Race number 4 today will be about 5 furlongs on the Tapeta Maiden Claim is 3-year-old, $16,000. Let's go to my Rainbow 6 ticket, 43.20 in here. Came real close, I know, to you, single Baker block. We'll talk about this race in a moment, but I added another horse. Race number 5 for me, 2 deep in there, Cream Caramel and Pearl in the rough. Just 2 in that race for me. Race number 6 this afternoon, 3 deep in there. Got my number 5 Jackson's Web in there for Gary Jackson, Dominican Ice, and Blind Eye. Again, coverage in race number 7. Here's my long shot, 15-1 on the morning line. That's the number 3. Stanford for the Red Hot Caesar Figueroa bond. 2 deep in race number 8. One Identity looks like the one to beat for Eddie Plesa Jr. And in the last, got some coverage. You know, I almost went with just the 11 and 12, but those outside posts scare me, so I also added the number 3, Pretty Devil, second sprinting at that level.
It's a tough sequence, isn't it? And late pick 5's not easy either. I single my best bet of the day is Tora Laura.
Right.
If you don't lean on her, you could go about 8 deep in that race. It is a problem.
Well, getting back to the 4th race, and the number 2 Baker block is dropping to the 16 level after making the move. Sort of flattened out in that race when finishing 5th behind a repeat winner called Mailbox Money. And the next out, we're on who won on Sunday. That neophyte won for a special weight in the 25 maiden sprint on the Tapeta. Leading trainer Safi Joseph Jr. Quickly show your stat here. Maiden Claimers making their second start in sprints. We always show first-time starters. Look how good he is with second-time starters. He's 37%, 17 for 46, 59% in the money, 259 is the ROI. So we always say first-time starters, 13%, but boy, does he improve second start.
Yeah, I mean, this horse is probably going to be odds on. I mean, he's going to be a very, very heavy favorite. You mentioned the key race angle. You showed the stat there. We know you're not going to get the best out of Safi on debut. We even get a little class drop here as well. To me, Baker block is probably the most likely winner on the entire card.
And as I handicapped through Saturday and Sunday, this race here that we're talking about, that neophyte Mailbox Money, a lot of horses are going to come out of the race over the weekend that have run pretty good in those spots. So that's a key race, certainly percolating there. You went to the outside with the number 9, Danley. This one for the Patara Lutchman barn.
Yeah, I'm just stubborn. That's all. This horse was my long shot last time and didn't really do a lot of running, but I like those races 2 and 3 back. And you know what? Maybe some of these horses are going to take a run at Baker block and they pay the price a little bit late. Maybe Danley at a decent number can complete the exact. I don't think he can win the race, but I think maybe he can get a piece underneath.
The 3 Harry's on the Beaches are dropping to this level and turning back to 5 on the Tapeta after following their 3rd place finishing. That was sprinting on the all-weather surface with a Stalk and Fade performance. That was going a mile on the turf. I think this is more to this horse's liking. 5 furlongs, Herman Walensky, Edgar Perez handling that combo surface switch and turn back this afternoon.
Yeah, you look at the race 2 back. Sprinting on the Tapeta for a quarter was definitely the best effort that this one has run. So now he's with friends again. As you mentioned, we're cutting back off the 2 turns on the turf. So I think he's a definite danger if Baker block doesn't fire.
Yeah, just one other horse I wanted to touch on was Royal Mahogany. He was hoping to shine for the new connections when he goes to the Jorge Delgado barn. You got to pay attention right there. Drops to the 16 level. Debuts on the Tapeta, so they're throwing the old kitchen sink at this one. But the barn is like 33% with new claim.
Yeah, I didn't know what to make of this horse. Chantel is not here, and she was aboard last time. I don't know. This horse has had a problem finding a little starch in the stretch.
Let's go to race number 5, and if you're just joining us, over $94,000 just to start in the carryover for the late pick 5. It's a 1-mile claimer for Phillies 3-year-olds or 4 and up, non-winners of 2 races in life, $6,250. We'll have 8 go to the post with no scratches and jockey changes. Very interested to see your ticket.
Yeah, I'm always optimistic. I think we could get $750 in here, 5 for sure. Here it is, $36. We'll get to the opening leg in a second. Race 6 got hurt by a couple scratches, so I do think Blind Eye, who was always my top pick, obviously I have that one on top. Penchalante is the firster for Barboza. In race 7, Hey Porter, we got a replay coming up. Certainly Democracy going to be very tough off that last race. The spread comes in race 8. Number 5, Delray Dolly on top. I'm leery of One Identity. You'll be heavily favored. There's the best bet of the day, Ronnie. Tora Laura off the Jose D'Angelo claim. If it's not her, I don't know who it is, and you could go a lot deeper than if you didn't single like I did.
Yeah, like in the Rainbow Six, I just wasn't totally enamored with the post,
Yeah.
so that's why I added a few more in there. But, absolutely the one I had on top and the one to beat in that race. Getting back to the fifth, the mile claimers for fillies 3 and up, 3 or 4-year-olds. I went to the inside horse. I'll start it off with Cream Caramel, who's dropping to this level after following her open length 12-5 maiden score with a slow starting third, but that was against 2 lifetime claimers going a mile last time out. She breaks from the rail, hoping to get away. She's got to break in a timely fashion, but that inside post might be a bit of a concern.
Well, that was part of it. I mean, and the other thing is, you know what I'm going to say, Raspberry Belay, 1 for 31,
Right.
5 seconds, 10 thirds. She was 3 to 5 that day. If you're coming out of a race where Raspberry Ballet beats you, I don't know, I got to play against you just a little bit.
He's still mad about that horse.
I just gotta beat me out.
He ruined his day that last time.
Ruined everything. Now, with that being said, that was Creme Caramel's first start against winners. I think that's a positive. She can move forward. She probably doesn't have to move forward. It's just kind of the stubbornness in me. I just can't. I can't tie too much to a horse coming out of a race like that.
Well, the number 4, Brimage or Brimage, whatever you want to say it, I think it's Brimage. This one from the Jerry O'Dwyer barn. And Jerry, boy, his horses run well, but he just can't get that picture taken.
You're 100% right. But Brimage, I thought ran pretty well last time on the barn switch from Bobby Hess Jr. Broke dead last. We need to break better today. This is one for you. 3 next out winners out of that race last time, too. She's the house horse at 62.50 while the others are dropping a little bit. Maybe Jerry can move her up. My goodness, this is a good barn that is long overdue for some luck. This is a barn in Maryland in the 18-17% range. Jerry's a good horseman. Maybe we can get this one at a price to kick off this sequence.
Well, I mentioned Cream Caramel that I thought run well. I thought the horse that might reap the spoils is the one you have in second. That's Pearl in the Rough. He was wheeling back after finishing second at the distance in 2 of her 3 previous races at this level in distance. She figures to reap the spoils, especially if that top choice Cream Caramel fails to break again. I thought this would be the logical one.
Absolutely. And the one race where she ran 4th, 2 backs, so it wasn't at the mile. And she had a trip that day, too. So if you just focus, like Ronnie said, on the 2 mile races, she fits nicely. If she runs that race 3 back, I don't know if she can get to it, the big figure, quote unquote, the big figure race 3 back. I don't know if anyone's beaten that one.
And what do you do with Science Friction in here? Hoping to make amends after responding to the drop down. Was the 4 to 5 favorite that day behind Pearl in the Rough. Didn't do much running in there from under De La Cerda. You got Heriberto Figueroa at the controls.
You Kier in 5th? I don't know. She can't win. I mean, I'd be shocked if she wins. I mean, she was 9 to 10 in her last 2 starts and was essentially non-competitive. I don't know why she'd make a dent against this group.
Let's go to race number 6 this afternoon. 6 1/2 furlongs, maiden special weight 3 and up. Did have a scratch of the 1, Nick's Bro, and the number 3, Omni King. Nick's Bro, my top selection in there. I know you had real interest in the number 6, Blind Eye, who's cutting back to a sprint today.
It was, to me, Ron, a little bit of a fresh new face. And, I don't know. Ralph Nix had 2 in here. Why run 2 if you only need 1? Well, here's Blind Eye. Thought she ran pretty well off the extended layoff. Going 2 turns on the Tapeta. Now we cut back. We're second off the brakes. She added Lasix last time, too. I know the one bad race was on the main track, but it was also the race that's centered to the sidelines for a long time. Maybe something went amiss. We know how good Ralph is. And, again, he scratches the 1 from down inside. Maybe Blind Eye can carry the banner here.
With that scratch of the number 1, I bumped up the number 5, Jackson's Web, who's a half-brother to multiple stakes winner, Miss Oramed, who is a well-meant second sprinting at the distance on the dirt. That was 2 starts back. Turns back, sightseeing outing, going a mile 70 yards on the Tapeta. Gary Jackson, Marcos Meneses handling the surface change today.
You said it. I like that sightseeing effort. She was wide every single step of the way last time, so you can be a little forgiving. The run 2 back for 40 when she wasn't in for the tag. He wasn't, excuse me. I thought that was a pretty good effort, and he had a little bit of a trip that day, too. So, yeah, he's not impossible, and the good thing about him, too, he'll be a square price in here, even with the 2 scratches.
He did number 2, Petulante. This one debuting for Victor Barboza Jr. with Edgar Perez.
3 for 15, damn. She won in her second start. It's a son of Arrogate. Edgar Perez, as you mentioned, is here. Boy, he's been doing so well. I like that bullet on June 24th. And Victor, 20% with firsters. I don't think you've got to absolutely freak to win this race.
7, Dominican Ice is stretching out after dueling throughout, finishing a game second. 6, Furlong's got the field high, 74 by her last time out. Jose Jimenez, Ian L. Bito, return call. logical horse to throw somewhere on there.
Yeah, the only thing is where'd the 74 come from? I'm worried,
Yeah.
can we run back to it?
Race number 7 this afternoon is 7 furlongs. Claimers 3-year-olds of 4 and up. Non-winners of 3 in life. 12-5 down to 10,000. No scratches or jockey changes in this race. Hey, Mr. Badger, how are you?
Big fan base here.
I'm going to go with my long shot up here, even though Billy tried to get me off kilter here. And that's Stanford, the Irish bred, and was given some time off after failing to show much. I thought against better on the Tapeta and the turf. After being claimed for $20,000 by Cesar Figueroa last December, the barn is winning races at a 40% clip. Edgar Perez handling the 5-year-old's first ever race on the main track. Just too many things in there that I can't give this one a shot for a barn that just keeps winning races. And this one, well, you know, forget all that stuff I said before. Coming back, trying the dirt, maybe this is the answer for this horse.
We're both thinking outside the box. You're way outside the box. But listen, you said it. Cesar Figueroa can do no wrong, and now he reaches out for one of our best jockeys here in Edgar Perez. The barn is just firing. We get back to the main track. Has not run on the main track ever. So that's interesting. Ever. You know, you go against this barn at your own risk, and you're going to get a price in here. And maybe this is the race that blows up this pick 5 because Democracy is going to be – there's not a lot of singles. If there are any on this in this sequence, Democracy is probably what people on a budget are going to be singling.
And you did go with the number 5, trying to beat Democracy, which I agree with you right there. With the number 5, Hay Porter. Peter Walder on the drop.
Yeah, let's take a look at the replay last time because this horse definitely had a trip too. Nothing was working out for Hay Porter. He's going to be the number 6 horse here. And after the start, it's kind of the old, they're off, you lose. Look at it, breaks way back. You don't want to be there. He wants to be closer than that. He should be closer than that with an alert beginning. And I think, you know, the fact that he thinks, Bob, he's going to show both angles here. And I think the fact that you lose this early position, we can just draw a line through this race. But he's got races, most notably the race off the claim for Peter, 3 back, that state bred allowance race. He ran a 12 that day. That fits with this group if Democracy comes back.
Well, Democracy, the post-time favorite in 4 consecutive races, finally rewarded his backers when he drew clear to defeat those 12-5 condition claimers by open lengths. The concern for me is the 0-for-2 record at the distance. We talk about this ad nauseum. If you don't like 7 furlongs, I'm looking for a price. You're looking for a price, trying to beat a horse that's never done well at 7 furlongs.
No, and like all of a sudden he's really good now. I mean, he was burning money, like you said, in 3 straight starts. Listen, he was good last time. He ran a 7. That'll lap this field. He aired. I just find him a little hard to trust right back now off that big figure and all that money that he burned. And you said it, 0-for-2 now. I know you think this is a tricky distance, and we're seeing it right here.
The number 4 Creative Cloud is stretching out to that distance of 7 furlongs that we're talking about. First start since defeating similar quality, going 5.5 furlongs back on May 20th. But this is Safi Joseph Jr. You know he's sharp at this kind of layup. He's taking the weight here. He's got Elsa Morrison going for 2 in a row.
He got an epic meltdown last time, and I don't know if he's going to be able to loop this field like he did last time. No, he doesn't have to be that far out of it either. I understand that. I think he's a little dressed up, and I was against him a little bit, at least on top.
The 8th race this afternoon, 6 furlongs, and this one is a claimer for Phillies 3-year-olds of 4 and up, non-winners of 2 in life. And you're taking a stance against One Identity, and I can understand that. 2-1 on the morning line, drop it to the 35 level and turning back to her best distance. She's had 3 races at this distance with 2 wins. She showed some speed and faded, but that was behind much to bet repeat stakes win. We saw Last Leaf win again this past weekend. That was in the 6.5 furlong, $75,000 game face. Eddie Plessis Jr., Edgar Perez, his daughter of Uncaptured. There's no Last Leafs in here.
No, but what is she doing in here for 35? That's worrisome for me because I didn't think she ran that poorly behind Spirit Wind. She's so good. And okay, we'll draw a line through the stakes. Last time she was in way too tough, but now all of a sudden she's in for 35, and she's going to have to run hard too because I think she's probably the inside speed or she's chasing if not. There's a lot of speed to her outside. I'm not stubborn enough to not use her in my late pick 5, but she's not a horse I want to tie too tightly to either, especially with an inside post and this very, very scary drop that honestly I don't know what to make of it.
The number 5, Del Rey Darley is who you used on top in here for Ruben Cressida with Hall of Famer Edgar Prado in the saddle. And what'd you see about the number 5 Del Rey Darley?
Well, I thought Ruben got some improvement out of her last time, and quietly, Ruben is pulling all the right strings at the Royal Palm meet, and now he drops her in class. He claimed her for 20, so there's no worry there. She's in for 35. I thought she ran very, very well last time. She's a stalker in a race where I think the pace is going to be pretty hot in here, and I think it might affect One Identity.
Yeah, we'll see. One Identity, on paper, just looked like she's going to just go and run away for it. Amazing Trip is cutting back to 3/4. That's the number 8. After returning from the layup, she went up, she set the pace. Maybe this is the horse that ruins the One Identity's day. That was finished second against those 20 condition claimers, going 7. It's a daughter of the Big Beast. Certainly going to be tested for class by the productive duo of Safi and Edgard. So you're getting Safi and Edgard here.
44-3 last time. That's a problem for One Identity, I think, if she goes that fast.
And what about the number 1 horse on the inside for Jose Pinchin, Dignified?
Well, you mentioned the class test for Amazing Trip. She's got to prove it too, Dignified. But she blew the doors off a field for a quarter and a 2L last time. You know, if she can work out a trip from down there, I think she's going to get a lot of pace to run into. And well, I think she's a major player off the pace. Good to be back after a week off and still know we got the dogs here.
Well, you always got to have the dogs here and everything like that. You know, it would not be Gulfstream Park without about 12, 13 dogs visiting Brian each and every day. I think he keeps dog biscuits in his pocket because they're so attracted to him. Ninth race this afternoon, about 5.5 on the Tapeta Maiden Claiming Fillies Admit. 3-year-olds and up, 12-5 scratch. The inside horse, Sea Lioness, and the number 13, Ratid, is both declared out of the final race. And take it away with your best bet. I think you have also a video.
Yeah, we got to show it here because obviously it didn't go right. We're breaking from the rail last time. She is the 1 horse, and here it goes. Going to be dead last. Not good. Don't want to be back there. Very, very problematic. But with that being said, now we're going to focus to the far turn here. Not yet in her picture till just now. Thanks, Bob. Well, I thought she ran, Ron. I thought it was a pretty good effort. We've said this time and time again. These are 12-5 maiden claimers, okay? They don't have gears. They don't have a lot of stop and starts in them. She ran pretty well trying to loop them all the way from the back. And now, here we go. Off the claim for Jose D'Angelo. That's 28%. Jose, 29% on the Tapeta, on the all-weather here. And I'm assuming / hoping we're going to break a lot better today. He reaches out for Miguel Vasquez. I just think, Ron, she's going to move forward in a big way, and I think the rest of this field is probably stuck in neutral a little bit.
No, I agree with everything you said, except, like I said, it was just a little afraid of the post. And Jose D'Angelo, of course, going to team up with leading rider Miguel Vasquez. The number 12, Sensational Grace, is going to depart from the outside. You'll look at his last race, broke from post 10, so it wasn't a great post last time out, and finished that press to pace second in front of Tora Laura last time out for Dave Fawkes. You're going to get the weight here with Elsa Morrison, and it's going to be an interesting rematch, one from post 11, one from post 12.
Yeah, and this one really has to go from out there, whereas Tora Laura does, she can try to save some ground into the turn. I think Sensational Grace is going to have to be used pretty hard from out there. With that being said, lightly race, and that race last time was, comfortably better than Tora Laura. No doubt about that.
The number 3 horse in here, Pretty Devil, second sprinting at this level, 2 starts ago, drops, chased the pace last time out, faded against 25 maidens, going 5 on the Tapeta. Her ability to stalk the pace from an inside post can be key. Everything else we're talking about is on the outside. Maybe this one gets that nice little trip, breaking from an inside post, especially with the scratch of the number 1.
No doubt about it, and she's dropping half in class and ran pretty well last time. She's only run 5 times, too, so she's got reason to move forward.
Well, that is how we see the 9-race card. And don't forget, a little later on in that late pick 5, we've got the carryover. One of the things we'll be talking about in this incredible lightning round.
Got a lot to get to. Standings especially. And, I was away for last week, and when I come back, whoa, a couple of our leaders blew way up here. Miguel now comfortably ahead. And we, Amici, hope to see him back soon.
Well, we spoke to Amici the other day. He'll be back in 3 to 4 weeks. It was amazing after that little scary spill that he took, but he actually stopped by the set here to say hello. And, of course, Lionel Reyes, boy, he's having a great year. 51 victories for him.
Without a doubt. And now Safi's up 17 on Rohan, which was, so he added some distance as well. We're going to fight it out for the podium, though. Joe Orsino continues to have a very strong Royal Palm meet.
Yeah, 17 wins, tied with Jorge Delgado and Jose D'Angelo all over the place, and he's got 18.
Yeah, he's doing his thing, so it's good to see a lot of competition there underneath Safi.
Well, we got best bets and long shots, right?
Yeah, we just did mine in the last race. Tora Laura for the aforementioned Jose
Mine
D'Angelo.
scratched early today, so we'll have to wait for tomorrow to get my best bet going again.
Can't have two.
Can't have two in one day, no. So what else? We got long shot. You got your long shot.
I'm early, yeah, with Pretty Princess at 15, and I'd like to think we can get at least double digits on her.
Mine is 15 too, so we'll see if Stanford can get it done in race number 7, which is part of that late pick 5. You get that one, and you can knock out a lot of people.
Yeah, we got a good stakes tomorrow on the Tapeta, the Miss Gracie, and a lot of them coming out of the same race. So you're going to have to kind of decipher that. There are no rules. One last time for Tom Proctor at 8-1, and she's back along with several of them.
Yeah, they've knocked heads. A couple of them had a little bit of trouble in their last race, so you can you just got to handicap and see which one you like the best, and that'll be race number 10 tomorrow, I believe.
Yeah. New post times is 12:25, right on the weekends.
Yeah, Saturday and Sunday during the Saratoga meet. Fridays, of course, always 2:55 during our summer campaign, and Saturdays and Sunday 12:25 during the Saratoga meet.
And speaking of the Saratoga meet, we got a good contest here on Saturdays that are going to lump Gulfstream in with the Saratoga meet. Our last 3 races on Saturday, coupled with Saratoga's last 3 races on Sunday. You can sign up in Silks, $2,500 each weekend on the line.
Yeah, and you got to be a member of ExpressBet. So you go right in the front desk. They're great people to get you all signed up if you're not already a member. And it's great. 3 here, 3 at Saratoga.
Yeah, and then at the end, the top 50, I believe, play for $5,000. So, hey, free money. Get involved.
Yeah, definitely. Nothing to pay to get involved. You just got to be a member of the ExpressBet company.
And last, but certainly not least, and we're going to hit you over the head a few more times today because it's a big deal, $94,000 in change in that late pick 5 carryover. Dead money. You can't beat it. Get involved. 50-cent base wager kicking off in race 5 in a tricky sequence.
Tricky sequence, and you'll get rewarded handsomely. If you can figure that one out, I certainly will be playing.
Absolutely, the two of us. So that's it. We'll send it upstairs. Track announcer Pete Aiello will be with you all day. Thanks for being involved.
The Thoroughbred Aftercare Alliance is really the vehicle for the transition for our racehorses coming off the track into a second career and safe environment for these horses when they're done racing. I've been passionate about racehorses my whole life, animals in general, and without the TAA to provide that oversight, there would be a big void in terms of making sure that we have this ongoing safe environment for our off-the-track racehorses. I'm excited about the undertaking and excited about working with our board and our team at the TAA to continue the wonderful progress that has been made. So I'm very excited about what the future holds.